Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going up through the atmosphere and we're going to be around all different moons of different planets, of Saturn and Neptune and Jupiter. It's going to be moons we're checking out because today we're looking at a trick-taking game called Moons. This is from Quick Simple Fun Games. It's for 2 to 6 players, designed by Robert Burke. So today we're going to teach you how to play this game. This is a rule school, so I'm going to give you a quick overview of what the game's about. Then I'm going to teach you how to set up the game and then play it rule for rule so that you don't even have to delve into the rule book at all. So without further ado, let's get going. Moons is a trick-taking game for 2 to 6 players where you're trying to gather tokens of different planets and trying to put them together in different sets to get different amount of points. And you'll be doing that by playing the highest card in the lead suit, which will allow you to take those tokens, but you can only take the token types that you secretly selected at the beginning of the round. You'll also be able to take tokens for playing off suit. But you'll also be able to play Asteroid Cards, which will allow you to steal tokens and cards from other players or to block them from doing so, and you'll be able to modify different scoring to give you further strategies. To set up, you'll find all of the tokens for each of the 4 planets, and you'll put them in separate piles grouped together so that all the tokens of each planet are together, and there's 4 different piles. There's also 1 block token, put that off to the side as well. Next, give every player a scoring reference card. You'll also shuffle all of the mini asteroid cards. You'll give 2 to each player face down, and then you'll take the rest of this deck, you'll put it off to the side because you'll need those later. Next, take all of the large moons cards and shuffle them. With 4 or 5 players, you're going to deal out all of the cards in the entire deck, so everyone will have the same amount of cards afterwards. If you're playing with 2 or 3 players, we recommend the variant that did not make it into the first edition rulebook to deal out 15 cards to each player, and then take the rest of the cards, put them off to the side for now. Now what you're trying to do in the game is score a lot of points by getting different combinations of the planets. For each set of different planet, you're going to get 10 points. So these 4 tokens together is 4 points. You can only use each token for 1 set. Then I have 3 of these, so 3 or more of any of the same planets will give you 2 points per token. These 3 would be another total of 6 points. So you're trying to gain points by getting sets of the different planets. Now that everyone's gotten their cards, they're going to secretly select 3 cards and place them face down. Once everyone's done that, they'll flip them up. The suits of these cards will tell you which tokens you're trying to be able to obtain throughout the round. Whoever has the highest single number in the first round will take the Earth and the Earth's moon token. If there's 2 people tied with the highest number, you'd go to the second highest number and third highest number if there's still a tie, and so on. That first player will lead the first trick by playing a card face up. Now notice this is number 13 and the suit is Neptune. Everyone else in clockwise fashion will have to also play a card face up, and they have to follow suit if they can. So if they have another Neptune card, they have to play it. And let's say it's a 3-player and everyone followed suit. Whoever played the highest of the lead suit will win this trick. When they win a trick, you can take 1 of the tokens from the 3 face up that you placed at the beginning of a round that we had just talked about. So in this case, let's say they take 1 of these from the token pile and they place it in front of them. They'll also take all these cards here and they will just place it off to the side, knowing that they had won the trick. Whoever won the trick will lead the next one. So let's say we're leading the next trick and we start with a 9 of Uranus. Well, we have the next player does not have any of these, so they play a 4 of Saturn. The next player has no Uranus, so they play this. It's a 3 of Jupiter. So the highest of the cards led is the winner. They would win the trick, and again, it's us. We get to pick 1 of these 3. Let's say this time we take a Saturn token. Everybody else, the lowest of the non-suit played, gets to take a token of that specific planet. So this is the lowest non-followed suit, so this player would get to take a Jupiter token. This player would get nothing, and since this player, us, won the trick, they again would collect this and lead another trick. However, let's say that the lead trick was this. This person couldn't follow, and neither could this person, and they're tied for the lowest non-followed suit. Neither of these get a token, so this would be the only player to get a token, and they pick 1 of the 3 that they played that round at the beginning. Now let's go over an exception. Let's say the first player plays Jupiter, the next player follows suit and plays it, and the other player plays a card called an Asteroid card. It's a full-size Asteroid card. You can play this even if you can follow suit. You would play this, and you would take an Asteroid card. You take 1 of the mini asteroid cards, add it to your hand. You started the game with some of these. Let's show you how to use them. But before that, let's decide who had won this trick. It's the highest card of the lead suit. Like normal, even though this card is basically nothing, this card would have won, and that player would have collected the trick. So what do these mini asteroid cards do? Well, before you play a normal size moons card, you can play one of these mini cards, and they allow you to do different things. For example, trade one planet token for another player's planet token. So let's say I wanted to get rid of my Jupiter token. I would give this to somebody. I would take one of their tokens from them, let's say the Saturn, and place it in mine. This one allows you to trade a card in your hand with any player's tableau, which means it could be an opponent or it could be your own tableau. And you might trade with your own tableau. If there's a token from a planet that you want that's not in your tableau, you could trade it there. But in this example, let's pretend that we want to steal from an opponent. So let's say these are the 3 different cards that are helping me win different tokens, and I really want this because I can win a trick. I'd steal that from somebody, and I would replace it with that in their hand, and later on I can now play this from my hand to try to win a trick. You could take the block token when you take this. If nobody has it, you take it from the supply. If somebody else has it, you take it from them. You'd place it in your tableau, and this makes you immune to trade, so no one can trade for any of your planet tokens or any of your cards. And then the final type of mini asteroid cards are score modifiers, where this one, let's say one of these tokens is 2 points, where normally it would just be worth 1. Or 3 Jupiters is going to be worth 8, where normally it would be worth 2 per token, so this would normally be worth 6, where now 3 of them are then worth 8. And there's all different permutations of these. And this continues with each player winning the trick, leading the new trick until all the cards are done. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you're taking your tricks and you're piling them up. So I had won 4 tricks this round. Whoever had won the most tricks gets to take any one planet token regardless of what's in their tableau. So let's say I really wanted Jupiter. I would take this and add it to my tableau because I had won the most tricks. If multiple people tie for most tricks, both of them get to take a token. Any player that won 0 tricks gets to take a token of one of the 3 different planets that they had in their tableau at the beginning of that round. Now that the round's over, the player who has the Earth's moon that started the game will pass it clockwise to the next player. That player is going to be the first one to play next round and will be the one to deal out all the cards. The planet Earth token stays in front of them. This helps see when the game is going to end because everyone deals once. So once you've played enough rounds that this gets back to that start player, that is the end of the game and you count up the final scores. And then you do the final scoring. With the scoring card here, we see that each of these sets is worth 10 points. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40 points because I have one of each of all of those. So that's 40 points. Normally these would each only be worth 1 each, but I have these extra scoring mini asteroid cards. So each of those are worth 2, and these here are worth 8 for a total of 52 points. When setting up the second round in a 2-player game, you'll just take the other 30 cards that were not used and deal 15 to each player for the second and final round. For the 3-player variant, you can decide to either keep the 15 same cards out of the game and just shuffle up the ones that were used, or you can shuffle up all the cards and deal 15 to everyone again for each round. Now it's important to note that all the tokens are limited. So as people are taking tokens from the piles as they're going away, let's say all the Saturn tokens are now gone, if you're going to get and need a Saturn token, you can't take any. So as the game goes on, you'll be running out of options as to which tokens you can take. Now I'm going to go over some official designer variants for the game that you will not find in the first printing of the rulebook. The first one is called Shoot the Moon. Normally you'll get 1 token of your choice when you have 0 tricks in an entire round. Well, now you get to pick any 2 tokens you like. You can play with Communication Blackout, which removes perfect information in the higher player count games. And so let's say you're playing with 4 players, you would take 1 card for each player, 4 of them out of the game before you deal up the round. You can also take out 2 cards for each player if you want a deeper blackout. Another variant is called Apollo 8. Normally 14 is the highest in any suit, but an on suit, meaning the same suit of the card, but an 8 will then trump the 14 and win this trick. As we mentioned, the tokens are limited, but you can play with a variant called Full Funding, where once all these are gone, you can actually just keep track in paper and pen as to how many you have. You can also play with a space race. So let's say this has run out and you want a Saturn, well, you can just steal it from another player and put it in front of yourself. Well, I hope this helped you dive right into the game quickly and enjoying the game faster without having to read the rulebook. If you have any further questions, go ahead and leave them as comments and we'll do the best we can to answer them.